Alright, morning. Today we will be talking about Worklight. You have probably seen many of these on eBay, Amazon, Banggood, pretty much everywhere. They're cheap LED work lights and nothing super special about them. This video is just mostly to fill in the blanks on the information that they don't give you in the description. So let's just start out with what it does do. It has a hook on it. It has a magnet, and it can support its own weight on a piece of flat metal. It has a USB charging port and an LED that's red when it's charging, green when it's charged. It is listed as being able to turn 360 degrees, and it kind of does that because it has a hinge here which will turn 180 degrees, and then another hinge that also turns 180 degrees. So you can get you can point it in almost any direction. It has 3 modes: high power, low power, and single LED. One thing I have to say about this is that because of the single LED, I have on occasion thought I've turned it off, but I've left that running. Wouldn't be too horrible if you somehow forgot, but it is annoying that if you're not looking at it, you can't see that it's on. Anyways, so let's see. Let's go over the things that I couldn't find in any descriptions, or if I could, they were just kind of barely mentioned. Number one was how many milliamp hours the battery in this is. Oh, and by the way, it uses an 18650 battery inside. There's a smaller version which uses something like, I think, a 14450, but this one has an 18650. Most of the listings for this gave no indication on how many milliamp hours for the battery. I found one that said 1800 milliamp hours. I don't know. I don't know if there's an option that whoever has these made can ask for a larger battery, but I can tell you that this one did not have an 1800 milliamp hour battery in it. In fact, I took out the battery that was in it. This is what was in it. It was spot welded to a lipo battery protector that was spot welded from here to here, and then the battery protector was in the middle, and then the whole thing was encased in a blue shrink tube. I discharged this using my discharge or load tester that I've shown in a previous video, and I measured it at 1170 milliamp hours, discharging it from 4.02 volts down to basically 3. This battery weighs 37 grams. And then I put it on a charger and charged it back up to 4.2 volts, and the charger reported that it's 1020 milliamp hours. So basically I would expect that most of these are only 1000 milliamp hours. I've got a picture of the insides of this. There's just 2 screws that hold it shut. You can carefully remove the spot welded tabs, and then I just carefully soldered them onto a new battery. The battery I installed was a 2600 milliamp hour battery. Based on my calculations and testing, I found that the power draw from this LED cob array at full power is 800 milliamps, which is a bit lower than advertised. Most of them state that it's 3 watts and that these work on 3 volts, and I found that this one was drawing 800 milliamps. At high power it was drawing 180 milliamps at low power, and I couldn't get a reading when it was on the single LED, but it was probably like 30 milliamps. Based on those amp readings, I would say that this would last on full power as it comes from the factory 1.25 hours. I'm sorry, at full power, yes. And at low power, 5.5 hours. And at least 33 hours with the single LED. With mine, with the 2600 milliamp battery, I should get about 3.25 hours on full power, 14 hours on low power, and 86 hours on the single LED. Charge time, according to what I've read, is anywhere from 3 to 6 or 8 hours. So with the 2600 milliamp hour battery, it probably would take twice that at least. So yeah, that's it. The cob array here is apparently 16 LEDs in parallel. There's a part number on here which comes up to nothing. The cob array is a 60 by 8 millimeter piece in here. They're apparently pretty common, except that this is the only one I've seen with the LEDs in this array. Other ones have them turned a different direction, but I couldn't find anything at all like this one. Though you could probably replace it with a similar type if needed. The advantage of this being in parallel is that if one of these LEDs goes out, this will just keep working. It'll just be slightly dimmer. Anyways, I think that's it. Thanks for watching.